It's the most powerful show on television. High drama with intense energy. A show dedicated to a few brave souls who risk their lives for the sake of their craft. Its in-depth reporting goes to the core and unlocks the mysteries behind today's raciest sport. Motorsports. Catch it when you can.
The Speed Station welcomes you to the Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia for live coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race. And in the race analysis, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion will be determined over the course of 130 laps around this 1.54-mile quad oval here in Hampton, Georgia, with stage number 1 coming to its conclusion on lap number 30 and stage number 2 meeting its end on lap 60. Fairly quick stages 1 and 2. However, if we do not get a caution flag in the final stage, you will have to make at least one green flag pit stop. And folks, this racetrack was fairly recently reconfigured. Between the spring race in 2019 and the championship race last season, SMI tore up all the old asphalt, put in progressive banking at this facility, which now goes from 22 degrees on the bottom, 23 in the middle, and 24 up on the top. It used to just be a solid 24. Now this place is banked pretty similarly to Homestead Miami Speedway, and there is fresh asphalt on this racetrack. And because of this reconfiguration, with those two new elements added to the racetrack, most importantly the progressive banking, expect wild racing here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And also because the banking here is higher than that of Homestead Miami Speedway, and obviously the asphalt here is much, much fresher, you are full throttle for about 10 or so laps into a run before you have to start really lifting. So the beginning of a run here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway is fairly close to pack racing, very dicey for the first few laps of a run until those tires start to wear out. You recall in the round of 8 how incredible the race was at Homestead Miami Speedway. Well, here at Atlanta there is steeper banking. The track itself is a little bit longer, so the speeds are going to be even higher than they were at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Slingshots are going to be critical, and towards the end of a run, most likely we'll see this in the final stage, handling does become very, very important. And in that final stage pit stop, whether that comes under yellow flag conditions or under green, you very well could see some tire strategy, whether or not to take 4 or just right side tires. And folks, this is the final points race of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season. So this race marks the end of quite a few things, including the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series careers of both Johnny Sauter and Joe Nemechek. And because this is the final race of the season, this is a good opportunity to throw everything you've got at one final push at a race victory. And this will also be your final chance at making the All-Star race postseason at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So even knowing there's only 4 drivers racing for a championship, pretty much every team here has something to gain if they can put together a good performance. And 35 weeks of battling have all led to this. The Championship 4 battle is just about ready to get underway here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Truck Series Championship race. Your Championship 4 contenders are the teammates of Grant Enfinger, Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, all at ThorSport Racing, and the odd man out, Casey Mears, who made it after winning at the Martinsville Speedway in the number 60 truck for Germain Racing. Expect quite an incredible championship battle here this afternoon, with all 4 Championship 4 contenders being veterans of our sport. And 2 things these Championship 4 contenders have to keep in mind. Don't beat yourself. Don't lose this championship because of an on-track mistake that you make or a mistake made on pit road during one of the pit stops. Don't beat yourself, and odds are you'll be in fairly decent contention towards the end of this race to take home that championship and also keep the truck clean. We saw in the NASCAR Cup Series Championship race last season Kyle Busch get involved in 3 separate accidents and end up winning the championship in the end, but that's because the rest of his contenders got involved in even more mistakes and trouble on the racetrack. So really, the biggest key here this afternoon for having a chance and possibly winning this championship is keeping that truck in one piece and out towards the front of this field. And so, folks, here is one final look at the point standings before we get on to this Camping World Truck Series Championship race. we are pretty much done counting points. And that's because of the Championship 4 reset. All 4 championship contenders, those being Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, Casey Mears, and Grant Enfinger, they now all set tied at 5,000 points. What that means is it just becomes a battle between these 4 contenders of which one can outplace the others. And whoever comes out on top here at Atlanta will be your Camping World Truck Series champion of the 2021 season. Now we do begin to count points farther back, from 5th down to 16th in points. That is the battle for best of the rest. Those who made the playoffs but have been eliminated from championship contention. Currently, Stuart Friesen holds the 5th position in points standings above the number 12 truck of Christian Eckes. And what a performance, by the way, in these last few races by Eckes. He was eliminated in the first round of the playoffs and has climbed his way all the way up to 6th in points. Then we have Timothy Peters setting in 7th in the 87 truck for Nemco Motorsports. Then the number 31 of Ty Dillon for Germain Racing sets 8th in points. The 18 truck of Ty Gibbs sets 9th in points standings. The 16 of Austin Hill sets 10th in points. We have the 30 of Brendan Poole setting 11th. The 75 truck of Parker Kligerman sets 12th in points. The number 2 truck of Sheldon Creed, your defending series champion, sets all the way down in 13th in points. Quite a big fall off from last season's height. Then we have the 41 of Dawson Cram setting 14th in points. A very big breakout year for that team this season. Then we have the 33 of Ryan Truex, the Texas World Speedway race winner, sets 15th in points. And then the final truck that made the playoffs this season, the 23 truck of Brett Holmes, sets all the way down 16th in points. And then finally we have the drivers in point standings who did not make the playoffs whatsoever. Currently that group being led by the number 92 of Austin Terrio, driving for Brad Keselowski Racing. He sets 17th in point standings. Now here's a pretty impressive stat out of him though. He has 12 top 10s. That's actually more by 3 than Casey Mears, who is contending for the championship here today at Atlanta. So Terrio's been fairly consistent, just hasn't been breaking into those top 5s, as you can tell, as Terrio only has 3 top 5s on the season, only 76 laps led. Then we have Todd Gilliland setting 18th in points for Front Row Motorsports. The 21 of Zane Smith, who finished runner-up in point standings last season, but dropped all the way down to 19th currently with just 1 race remaining. Then we have the top 20 being rounded out by the number 42 of Carson Hocevar. Once again, just remember, with this being the Championship 4 race, it is just down to which of the 4 Championship 4 contenders places highest on track at the conclusion of this 130-lap championship race at Atlanta. And so now let's shine a spotlight on some of the drivers in today's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race. Let's begin with the 4 contenders chasing after the championship. Let's start with the number 98 truck of Grant Enfinger. The former ARCA titleist has 8 career NASCAR Camping World Truck Series victories and comes into today's championship race with 2 wins on the season, 7 top 5 finishes, 10 top 10s on the year, 2 poles, and 367 laps led. Being a veteran of our sport, today could finally be his day to break through and score a series championship. Then we have the crafty veteran of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, Matt Crafton, has spent more than 2 decades in this series, and on his resume includes 18 career victories and 3 series championships, setting tied second all-time with Jack Sprague, and today could possibly be his day to tie Ron Hornaday Jr.'s record of 4 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series championships. Matt Crafton this season has 3 victories on the tour, 10 top 5 finishes, 14 top 10s, 1 pole, and 160 laps led. Then we have Ben Rhodes in the number 99 truck, yet another Thor Sport truck chasing after this championship. He is the least experienced contender running after this championship 4, but still an easy veteran of our Camping World Truck Series. He has 5 victories to his credit. This is his first appearance in the Championship 4 in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and this season he has taken home 3 victories on the tour with 11 top 5 finishes, the most of any driver, I should add, then 13 top 10s, 2 poles, and 148 laps led. He is actually our most recent series race winner, scoring that clutch victory in the Championship 4 last week at the Talladega Superspeedway. Ben Rhodes today searching after his first career NASCAR National Series Championship here in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. And then I guess you could say the odd man out of this championship, for we have Casey Mears, the former veteran of the NASCAR Cup Series, actually has clinched the 2021 Rookie of the Year award in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series by virtue of making the championship. For it came down to a battle between him and Ty Gibbs in the round of 8. Gibbs got eliminated at Talladega. Mears made it in by virtue of his victory at Martinsville. Mears is your 2021 Rookie of the Year award winner in the Camping World Truck Series, so he already has a very big award on his resume. But Mears has 2 career victories in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, both coming this season, as he is contesting in only his first season of full-time competition in the Truck Series. He did not even intend on running the full schedule this year. He was only supposed to run 4 races this season, all 4 coming at the super speedways. Once he scored the victory in the season opener in the Next Era Energy 250 at Daytona, Germain Racing bumped up his schedule to the full season. And he most recently scored the victory at Martinsville Speedway, the first race of the round of 8, clinching his spot in the championship 4, going after what could be his first championship in any of NASCAR's national divisions. His statistics of this season include 2 victories, his only 2 of his career, 6 top 5 finishes, 9 top 10s, no poles as of yet, and 120 laps led. Casey Mears is the only driver contesting for this championship not a part of ThorSport Racing. And so now the final driver under our spotlight for today's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race is Johnny Sauter. The 4th and final driver for ThorSport Racing, Sauter and crew chief Joe Scheer Jr. will both be calling their full-time career at the conclusion of these 130 laps here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Johnny Sauter will close his career, if he cannot score the victory here today, with 24 career victories and the 2016 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship. Johnny Sauter recently cited family as being the reason for him stepping away from Camping World Truck Series competition following today's race at Atlanta. And he also announced on that SiriusXM radio interview that him and Joe Scheer Jr., longtime friend and crew chief of Sauter, who will also be stepping away from Truck Series competition following today's event, they will be going back to Wisconsin and starting up a late model program, much like what they used to do in ASA competition back about 20 years ago. Sauter's stats on the season have not exactly been favorable. So far, no wins on the year, 4 top 5 finishes, 6 top 10s, no poles, and only 69 laps led. But Sauter here today will be going after what could be his 25th and possibly final NASCAR Camping World Truck Series victory. But Sauter has had an absolutely remarkable Camping World Truck Series career. Johnny Sauter's career obviously will not be measured by his performance in today's race, let alone his performance of this season. It's his 24 victories and 2016 series title that truly make him a champion of our sport. And we wish Sauter and Joe Scheer Jr. the best in today's Camping World Truck Series Championship race, which could be their final events as both a driver and crew chief. Hello everyone and welcome back finally to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series ride-along segment. Back in the test truck here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, which was obviously reconfigured between the 2019 running and the 2020 championship race. Up onto the speedway we go, right here on the apron, ready to merge up with the racetrack, straddling that high bank right there. And now down the back straightaway, we're going to merge up with the racetrack, crossing the very vibrant red and white line here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And this place, as I mentioned, progressively banked ever since the reconfiguration. 22 degrees down here on the bottom, 23 in the middle, and 24 up on the top. And because of the fresh asphalt here at Atlanta, you're going to be full throttle for about the first 10 or so laps of a run. And during the full throttle period, you definitely want to be down on the inside of the racetrack. It's a short way around, obviously. Put your left sides even on this paint right here, as it was painted actually on the banking itself. But as the tires begin to degrade, you will have to start lifting. And once you get to lifting, you want to be up towards this outside wall where the banking will help you make the corner. It's obviously a little dirty right now, but as the run continues, you'll see these trucks start to make up more and more time up on the outside line. But because of that progressive banking, I expect runs to be made from the bottom all the way up to the top of the racetrack. Wherever you can get your truck to turn the best is where you're going to see somebody make up time. And that's obviously different depending on everyone else's setup, whether you set up your truck to roll the bottom or that high line to get that momentum down the straightaways. We'll be seeing a lot of different styles of racing here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I expect a phenomenal championship race over the course of these 130 laps at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Fresh asphalt, reconfiguration of the progressive banking here at Atlanta. It used to be just a straight 24 degree. Now it's 22 all the way up to 24 up by the outside wall. Should produce some very exciting racing here in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 4 drivers going after that championship. And remember, it's your final chance to make the All-Star race at Las Vegas. So not only do those 4 drivers chasing after that title have something to gain or lose here today, it's practically everyone in the field. And keep in mind, there's still that ongoing battle for 5th place in the final championship point standings. A lot of things to pay attention to here at Atlanta. And it's going to be an awfully fun race as the Truck Series take on their final points race of the 2021 campaign. Championship contender Matt Crafton comes out to the Atlanta Motor Speedway swinging, as Crafton has scored the pole by 2 1/1000ths of a second here for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race above the number 23 truck of Brett Holmes. So Crafton already asserting dominance in this championship battle, starting from the pole position. Although I do not believe that qualifying position will matter all that much here at Atlanta, what this does do is it allows Crafton to get a decent start without being in a massive wad of traffic. Brett Holmes lays down a very good qualifying time, coming just barely in second place in qualifying to the 88 truck of Matt Crafton. Holmes in the number 23 truck for GMS Racing rolls off outside pole. Then we have Johnny Sauter starting what could be his final career NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race from the 3rd position, one of his best qualifying runs of the season. Then we have Derek Kraus starting in 4th spot in the number 19 truck for Bill McAnally Racing. Dawson Cram will roll off in 5th position. The number 41 truck for Cram Racing Enterprises. Then we have the number 26 of Chase Purdy starting from the 6th position. Timothy Peters in the number 87 for Nemco Motorsports will start from 7th spot. Then his future teammate, the number 4 of John Hunter Nemechek, rolls off from the 8th position. David Reagan, the Darlington race winner, will start from 9th spot in the 17 truck for Larson Gilliland Racing. And then rounding out the top 10 is the number 75 truck of Parker Kligerman for Henderson Motorsports. Other notable starters include the number 16 of Austin Hill, the mile-and-a-half king of the season. Missed out on a spot in the championship for last time out at Talladega, but he will roll off in 11th position and is a likely candidate for the race victory here today. Then we have the 2nd highest qualifier of the championship for contenders. Grant Enfinger will roll off from the 12th position. Then we have the 2000 Camping World Truck Series champion Greg Biffle will start from 15th position in the number 51 truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports. The number 8 of Joe Nemechek, running what could be his final career Camping World Truck Series start, will roll off from the 16th position. Defending champion Sheldon Creed, who will be moving all the way up to the Cup Series next season, will roll off from the 23rd position. And then we have all the way down in 28th position in qualifying the number 60 truck of Casey Mears. Not a very great run in the qualifying session, but Mears looking to charge his way towards the front of this field here over the course of these 130 laps. He definitely has enough time to do it. But then the worst of the championship for contenders in qualifying, the 99 of Ben Rhodes, the most recent race winner in the Camping World Truck Series. He will roll off all the way down in 35th position. Many trucks to pass to get up to the championship point leader of Matt Crafton, who put that number 88 truck on the pole spot. And so now the trucks that failed to make today's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race from the Atlanta Motor Speedway include the number 1 of Haley Deegan, missed out on the show, as well as the number 11 of Spencer Davis, the 15 of Tanner Gray, the number 34 of Josh Rayom, the number 40 of Will Rogers, and the number 46 of Chandler Smith all failed to make today's race here at Atlanta. And so now let's get the engines fired one last time in the 2021 season. Let's go down trackside for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Nice and easy, long day. It's going to be a lot of adjustments. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. This is a real race here. We're going to have a blast tonight. I can't wait to get out there and get going.
And And the pace car hits pit road. Matt Crafton, your pole sitter and championship contender, leads the field onto the front straightaway. Flagman with the green flag in hand, and there it is. We are now underway for the 2021 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race. As the field roars down into turn number 1, Matt Crafton gets the advantage above the outside row, being pushed currently by his teammate Johnny Sauter in the 13 truck as there's contact farther back. The 75 got into the tailgate of the number 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek. Here comes Sauter down on the bottom. Sauter shot out of a cannon down the back straightaway. Through turns 3 and 4, the field fanning out in almost 4 wide groups. Johnny Sauter is going to lead lap number 1 here at Atlanta from a 3rd place starting position. We now have almost a 4 wide battle getting made farther back. We have Brandon McReynolds to the inside of Greg Biffle. As Todd Gillen goes through the middle, the 3 truck backed off on entry. Sauter was the leader for the moment, but here comes 2 Fords down on the inside. Timothy Peters goes out to the race lead with some help coming from the 17 truck of David Reagan. John Hunter Nemechek 3 wide down on the bottom, trying to go for that 2nd spot. Greg Biffle quickly making his way through the field, the 2000 Series champion. And you can see farther back, the rest of the championship 4 contenders, Mears, Rhodes, and Enfinger struggling to make their way through this field as the 88 truck of Matt Crafton drops back. Now the 2 Fords have cleared the rest of the field. We have the 87 of Peters out in front, Reagan residing in 2nd. Here comes Reagan down to the bottom, going for the race lead into turn 3. Through turns 3 and 4, the 17 truck is now your race leader. 41 of Dawson Cram goes for the 3rd spot on the number 4 of John Hunter Nemechek. Have a look at this move being made through the field by the 56 of Timmy Hill, still unsponsored. But as I mentioned previously, this team has picked up some support from Germain Racing, started buying some of their equipment, and now Timmy Hill races his way up into the top 10 as David Reagan has taken away the race lead off the 87 truck of Timothy Peters. Dawson Cram now going for 2nd down on the inside. Coming off turn number 4, Dawson Cram's going to take over the 2nd spot. Matt Crafton back down on the inside line, now trying to make it almost 3 wide. Coming into turn number 1 on Biffle and John Hunter Nemechek. Crafton's going to make the move stick down on the inside. You can see farther back the 99 of Ben Rhodes, the 2nd place runner in championship points at the moment, carving his way back through this field from a 35th place starting position, starting to at least be close enough to see the championship point leader, his teammate of Matt Crafton. You can see farther back, we have the number 2 truck of Sheldon Creed making his way through this field, now up into the top 10, running in 9th position, and Joe Nemechek, in what could very well be his final Camping World Truck Series start, now runs in the 10th position. And look at this, we've had a lead change. 41 of Dawson Cram up to the top spot. Coming off of turn number 2, here comes the 23 and 88 trucks on the bottom. Matt Crafton makes a 3 wide move and goes from 3rd to 1st. Off of turn number 4 as the field checks up a little bit coming off of turn 4. A 3 wide move getting made through the tri-oval. Down on the inside, Chase Purdy with a 3 wide move going all the way up into the top 5 off of the 2nd corner. And you can see in the thick of this battle, we have drivers such as Grant Enfinger and Ben Rhodes, who are right now hanging out towards the back of this field as the 23 of Brett Holmes goes to the race lead coming off of turn 4. Johnny Sauter back to the inside of his teammate Matt Crafton. You can see Sauter running a special paint scheme this weekend for what very well could be his final Camping World Truck Series start. The 2016 Series champion goes out to the race lead off of turn number 2. Look for this field, you see all the way down on the inside. That is Casey Mears going for what I believe is the 2nd place spot in championship points, as Matt Crafton has a tremendous amount of trucks separating him from the 2nd place runner in points. Chase Purdy up to the top spot off of turn number 4. A lot of lead changes early here at Atlanta as the tires are still fresh. You can make these aggressive moves. Down on the inside, we now have another lead change getting made. Ty Gibbs out to the race lead off of the 2nd corner. Parker Kligerman now setting in 2nd spot for Henderson Motorsports. Kligerman still looking for a victory on the season as he goes down to the inside. And now Kligerman is your race leader here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Just 9 laps completed and a tremendous amount of leaders. Look through this field, 2 by 2 all the way through. Matt Crafton up on the outside line, losing some track position. So far, it's been a troublesome day for most of the Championship 4 contenders, with the obvious exception of Matt Crafton getting that track position early. 75 Truck of Kligerman took over the race lead, but here comes John Hunter Nemechek on the bottom. The Mosport race winner is now back out front. John Hunter Nemechek puts a few trucks separation above him, and the new second-place runner of Timmy Hill in the 56 truck. Matt Crafton has started to drop even farther back, now outside the top 10. As your second highest contender running for the championship, that position now swaps. The 99 of Ben Rhodes takes over that second place in point standings as the 60 of Casey Mears drops back, and the 98 of Grant Enfinger almost at the tail end of this field. Right now, a 4-wide move gets made by Ty Majeski up through this field as the 99 of Ben Rhodes starting to make his way towards the front. There was contact between the 60 of Mears and the 6 of Nick Sanchez. Out towards the front as Matt Crafton gets put into the middle, going 3 wide. We have Timmy Hill going to the race lead. Timmy Hill leads the field here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He was the pole sitter at Talladega last time out. This 56 team really trending in the right direction as the 21 down on the inside. Zane Smith takes over the race lead. Matt Crafton dropping back as there's contact between the 22 and 23 trucks of Austin Wayne Self and Brett Holmes, 4 wide into turn 1. 17 all the way down on the inside. That's the Darlington race winner of David Reagan. Reagan gets back in line. There's even more battling out in front. Hard to keep track of so many lead changes as the 87 now leads. Once again, that's Timothy Peters, another Ford on the inside. Todd Gilliland takes away the race lead. Johnny Sauter trying to take over second. Farther back, we still have the 88 of Matt Crafton holding on to that championship lead. The still second-place runner in championship points is the number 99 of Ben Rhodes, battling with the 60 of Casey Mears. 38 truck leads this field here at Atlanta, but the 13 of Johnny Sauter down on the inside. You can expect these next few laps, the tires are starting to degrade quite a bit. We'll start to see this pack string out just a little bit, but we're still running pretty darn close together. In fact, first all the way down to 39th, just separated by 3 seconds. But right now, Johnny Sauter is back out in front at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, searching for his 25th career victory. As David Reagan goes 3 wide to the inside, going for second. And you can see Matt Crafton dropping back in the middle lane right now, as second place in championship points has been taken over by the 60 of Casey Mears. Look at David Reagan, 3 wide on the bottom. Reagan up into second. Johnny Sauter gapping this field for the moment, as Ty Gibbs tries to take over that 3rd spot at the start-finish line. Field passes underneath our camera. Currently, the last place runner is the 53 truck of Cameron Haley. Not getting a very good run going on so far. Neither is his teammate of Christian Eckes, residing second to last. But look farther back, we have the 45 truck of TJ Bell almost running the apron, putting the championship contender of Casey Mears in the middle of 4 wide. Mears makes it through that situation cleanly. The 98 of Grant Enfinger also towards the back of that battle, as the 99 of Ben Rhodes has fallen to 4th in points. And the 17 truck of David Reagan has taken over the race lead off the 13 of Johnny Sauter. You can tell stage number 1 here is going very quickly. We're already past halfway in the first stage. Just lap 30 is the end of this first stage, as the 13 of Johnny Sauter back down to the bottom, taking away that race lead off the 17 of David Reagan, who was actually getting a little bit of bumper-to-bumper contact between himself and the 18 of Ty Gibbs. Sauter back out in front. Matt Crafton carving his way back through this field as David Reagan almost got up into the outside wall on entry to turn 1. John Hunter Nemechek now gets the move down to the inside, going for that race lead off of the 13 of Johnny Sauter. You see the progressive banking really showing itself here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, as the 99 of Ben Rhodes is actually now last place on track. The 4 of John Hunter Nemechek is your race leader. Down on the inside, we have nearly a 4-wide battle going on with Matt Crafton setting in the middle. Right now being passed by the 42 truck of Carson Hosevar. And you can see this field is starting to spread out just a little bit as the tires degrade. The number 60 of Casey Mears now holds second in the championship point standings. On track, out in front, we still have the 4 of John Hunter Nemechek as your race leader, 13 of Sauter running in second, and 56 of Timmy Hill going for that 3rd spot, getting pushed by a fellow Chevrolet. The 26 of Chase Purdy helping the 56 of Timmy Hill. As you can see, Matt Crafton dropping back just a little bit up on the outside. 92 to his inside, as well as the 24. Grant Enfinger running bumper to bumper with the 60 of Casey Mears, as Johnny Sauter takes away the race lead once again, and the 18 of Ty Gibbs overdrives his entry into the corner. 18 truck slides up as the 13 takes over the top spot. 10 laps to go in stage number 1. 3-wide battle coming down into turn number 1 for the 3rd position. 41 truck backs off all the way down the inside. You can see the tires really starting to degrade now, as that inside line is much harder to hold on old rubber. You got to move up towards the top of the racetrack and use that banking to help your truck turn. Here comes a 4-wide move for the championship lead. 60 of Casey Mears takes over the top spot in championship points with an aggressive move off of the 4th corner, still getting put 4 wide by the 75 truck down on the bottom. Matt Crafton backs off down the front straightaway to try and avoid an accident as Casey Mears takes over that top spot in points. Grant Enfinger going for 2nd in the point standings. 99 truck of Ben Rhodes sets in line behind this battle as the 26 of Chase Purdy has taken over the race lead. 13 of Sauter has dropped back, 26 out to the race lead, 87 into 2nd, and 41 residing in 3rd. But Casey Mears is now your championship leader, trying to break his way up into this top 10. And I have to say, it's been rather surprising to see this championship battle being conducted 15th on back. But that means there's action from the front all the way to the back of this field as we have the battle for the race lead and for the championship lead, as right now Chase Purdy is setting a very good pace on older tires as 23 laps have been completed here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 26 truck seems to be the best at the end of a long run. There you see Casey Mears charging up through the middle line, passing the 75 truck of Kligerman down on the inside, pinched him down just a little bit, as the 98 of Grant Enfinger has taken over 2nd in points. 99 of Ben Rhodes down on the bottom is going to take over 3rd spot as Crafton from the pole drops all the way down to 4th position in the point standings. The worst of the championship 4 at the moment. And what a story this would be if Casey Mears could pull this off. Potentially taking home his first NASCAR National Series championship. Mears, who started full-time Cup Series racing back in 2003, all but had his NASCAR career ended just a few years ago just from a lack of rides. Just was supposed to run 4 races this season at the Super Speedways, one in his debut at Daytona, got the full-time ride, and it is in prime position to take home this championship, going 3 wide up to the outside. Currently residing in 10th position, going to lose a couple spots right up by the wall, back down to 12th. Just 5 laps to go in stage number 1 here at Atlanta. You see the field really starting to spread out at the moment. 98 truck has fallen back down to 4th in points as we have a 3-truck breakaway. 26 of Chase Purdy leading this field above the 87 of Timothy Peters and the 42 of Carson Hocevar. There goes Peters up to the outside trying to build a run, but that actually opens up the door for the 42 truck down on the bottom. 87 got just a little bit too high up the racetrack, started to lose time, and the 42 truck goes to the 2nd position. Hocevar, now your 2nd place runner, trying to chase down the 26 of Chase Purdy. And the 60 truck of Casey Mears has put a pretty big advantage above the new 2nd place runner in points. That is the 99 of Ben Rhodes, who has started to charge his way through this field. He's struggled all day long so far, but towards the end of this long run, he's at least starting to pass quite a few trucks, still running about midfield and being challenged on the inside by Crafton for the 2nd spot in the points, but still that 99 truck is way better than it was to begin this race as Crafton once again takes back the 2nd place in point standings. Right now, it seems like the ThorSport trucks are battling so much that it is allowing the Germain Racing number 60 to run away with this championship lead at the moment. But we are just 2 laps to go in stage number 1. The field's going to get re-racked in just a moment as Chase Purdy still leads this field here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 42 truck still holding on to 2nd, but has not been able to close that gap up to the 26. Now, white flag in stage number 1 for the 26 of Chase Purdy. Here comes the 87 of Peters down on the bottom for 2nd. Peters with a good run down on the inside. Doesn't have the banking going for him, but it looks like he will be able to take over that 2nd spot down the back straightaway. Johnny Sauter trying to make it 3 wide for 2nd through turns 3 and 4. Chase Purdy running absolutely unopposed as the 3 wide battle for 2nd continues. Sauter trying to take it above Peters, But Chase Purdy is going to cruise to the stage number 1 victory here in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race. The 13 of Johnny Sauter took back the second spot at the start-finish line, but Chase Purdy takes home the stage number 1 victory. Sauter in second, the 87 truck of Timothy Peters in third, the 41 of Dawson Cram in fourth position, and the 75 of Parker Kligerman running in the 5th spot. Pit stops are now underway following stage number 1 as the 26 truck of Chase Purdy leads the entire field down pit road. And so the first truck out of the pits was the 26 truck of Chase Purdy, reassuming the race lead above the 87 of Timothy Peters, the 75 of Parker Kligerman, the 16 of Austin Hill, and the 42 truck of Carson Hocevar. The highest championship 4 truck off of pit road is still the number 60 of Casey Mears, holding on to that point lead, with the 88 truck of Matt Crafton residing in second. And so the pace car hits pit road. Stage number 1 winner, Chase Purdy, leads the field into the Geico restart zone on lap 34. And there is the green flag for stage number 2, the Camping World Truck Series Championship race. The field fans out, heading down to turn number 1 on fresh tires once again, so expect quite a few passes made on track as the 16 truck from 4th all the way to 2nd, coming off of the 2nd corner. You can see down on the inside, way farther back, the 98 truck of Grant Enfinger mounting a charge forward. As Austin Hill has taken over the 2nd spot, and on those fresh tires, now challenging for the race lead, coming off of the 4th corner. Down the front straightaway, getting a little bit of help from the 42 truck, and Austin Hill, the mile-and-a-half king of this season, moving up to the Xfinity Series next season, and currently holds the race lead here in Atlanta. The 60 truck of Casey Mears dropping back, as there's a 3-wide move being made for position farther back in this field. That is the 31 truck of Ty Dillon down on the inside. Here comes Ty Gibbs, 3-wide going for 3rd spot as the 42 truck of Hocevar takes away the race lead. Off of turn number 4, almost contact between the 87 of Peters and the 26 of Chase Purdy. They keep it together. Here comes the number 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek, 3-wide to the inside of TJ Bell and the 52 of Stuart Friesen. They make that move work, coming off the 2nd corner, as there's nearly 4-wide action with the championship point leader in the middle of it. The 60 of Casey Mears trying to break his way back up into the top 5. A huge battle going on for track position right now, as the 18 truck assumes the 2nd spot. 42 of Hocevar still out in front of this field. Farther back, look at the 8 truck of Joe Nemechek make his way through this field, currently residing in the 18th position, just made his way past the 53 truck of Cameron Haley, who's now on the top of 3-wide. Johnny Sauter on the middle lane, and the 56 of Timmy Hill all the way down on the bottom. 26 of Chase Purdy checks up just a little bit as we have a move for the race lead. That is the 18 of Ty Gibbs taking over the top spot. The field still running in groups of 3-wide. 98 and 99 trucks riding out towards the back, as the 60 of Casey Mears, the point leader, takes over the 4th spot up off the outside line, getting around the 75 truck of Parker Kligerman. Now Mears drives up right to the tailgate of the 42 truck of Hocevar. Gets the 42 just a little bit loose, and that allows the 41 of Dawson Cram down on the inside to take over 2nd. You see farther back, some momentum coming from the 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek, pushing the 75 of Kligerman, as the 42 of Hocevar almost got up into the outside wall, and Kligerman back into 2nd spot. And coming into turn number 3, here comes Kligerman, still working with this number 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek. Kligerman takes over the race lead as the 16 made contact with the outside wall, and the championship point leader of Casey Mears clipped the left rear quarter panel of the 41 of Dawson Cram coming off of turn number 4. They just barely managed to keep it together. Now they're going 4-wide off of turn 2. David Reagan all the way down on the inside as Kligerman's taken over the top spot. The 4 truck down on the inside going for the race lead. Those two run side by side down to the start-finish line as the 60 of Mears has settled that battle for track position, now running side by side with the 41 as they're still going 4-wide down the front straightaway. There's Mingus all the way down on the bottom. And finally, the 55 truck backs off putting that action back down to just 3 wide racing. And so there's been so much going on track that's been a little bit difficult to keep track of what all is occurring. But look at this coming into turns 3 and 4. A replay of what happened just about 2 laps ago. The 16 truck just overdrives the corner entry, makes contact with the outside wall, and rides it off of turn 4. And then back towards the front, look at this, a very big risk out of the point leader. Casey Mears makes contact with the 41 of Dawson Cram, clips him in the left rear quarter panel, and turns him almost into the inside grass. Clips it right there with his left side tires, but they fortunately keep it together. But that bottlenecks the field up just a little bit and forces him 4 wide down to turn 1. Fortunately for Mears, they all keep it together. And so now off of turn number 2, the 75 truck of Kligerman uses highline momentum to clear the number 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek. Although Nemechek not giving up just yet, running that middle line, as the 60 of Casey Mears is going to take over 3rd spot, now going for 2nd. You see farther back, the ThorSport truck starting to struggle. That's the 99, 88, and 98 trucks all running on the inside line, nose to tail, but outside the top 25. Look at the 2 Nemco trucks making their way through this field. There is Joe Nemechek as there's trouble down the back straightaway. The stage number 1 winner gets clipped into the outside wall and slammed by the 38, as well as the 44 of Bailey Curry as the 53 truck piles in. And they're still crashing through turns 3 and 4. The championship contenders make it through, but trucks including the 45 truck also got turned around as there's contact coming off of the 4th corner. The 30 and 97 trucks get turned around as the field races back to the caution flag. 3 separate accidents in 1 lap. Racing back to the caution flag, your race leader was the number 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek, besting the number 60 of Casey Mears, above the 75 of Kligerman, 17 of David Reagan, and 41 of Dawson Cram. And so here's what happened that started the first incident off of turn number 2. The 41 truck of Dawson Cram clips the 18 of Ty Gibbs in the left rear quarter panel, sending Gibbs down into the 26 of Chase Purdy. Gibbs makes contact with the outside wall. Purdy follows him through and gets finished off right there coming off of the 2nd corner. Then spinning sideways down the back straightaway, gets hit right in the tailgate by the 38 of Todd Gillen. Quite a bit of front-end damage on that 38 truck. Still spinning down the back straightaway, then gets hit by the 44 of Bailey Curry. Almost picks up the left side tires off the 26 truck. You see the 25 of Mason Mingus all the way. Couple truck whiffs onto the apron to miss this accident. There is the 44 of Bailey Curry as the 3 ThorSport trucks make it through unscathed. And there's the 53 truck of Cameron Haley, just slams right into the back of the number 44 truck, and as you can see, they're still wrecking up in turn number 3. And so you see right here the 26 and 38 truck spinning down the back straightaway. 26 gets hit by the 44, but the 45 truck cuts up the racetrack, and there is the 3 of Brandon McReynolds. These 2 make contact, carrying the 45 of TJ Bell up into the outside wall. 3 truck makes contact, and then the 52 of Stuart Friesen sends the outside pole sitter of Brett Holmes around, coming into turn number 3. He then slides up into the outside wall, making contact with that left front quarter of his race truck. And just look at the championship contenders make their way through this mess. There's the 99, 98, and 88 trucks all the way down on the apron. Matt Crafton keeping it on the high banks, but a very risky moment right there as all these trucks had to go down to the inside to avoid that massive accident coming into the 3rd turn. And you saw the 51 truck of Greg Biffle slide up and make contact with the left side of Matt Crafton. And then the final incident we had was the 30 truck of Brendan Poole coming up off the apron onto the high banks, clips the 13 of Sauter down into the 97 of Jesse Little. And so the 30 of Poole and the 97 of Little slide down the front straightaway, but really minimal contact for those 2. And then coming back to the caution flag after that very eventful lap, it was the 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek besting the number 60 of Casey Mears to the start-finish line. And so nobody came down pit road over the course of this caution flag period, with the exception, obviously, of the trucks that were damaged. And the 3 trucks that are out of the race following that massive crash coming off of turn number 2 and leading all the way to turn 4 include the 44 truck of Bailey Curry, the 38 of Todd Gilland, and the 53 of Cameron Haley. Pace car hits pit road once again. John Hunter Nemechek leads the field into the restart zone on lap 47, and there is the green flag. You can see the field already starting to fan out. The 75 truck of Kligerman looked up to the outside of the number 60 of Casey Mears. Didn't quite do anything with it as he now has the 17 of David Reagan on his inside. 3-wide move getting made farther back by Timothy Peters as here comes Mears to the bottom, going for the race lead. Casey Mears, the championship point leader, is going to take over the race lead through turns 3 and 4. You can see farther back the trucks that were involved in that crash dropping back, being slowed by their crash damage. 60 of Mears will lead the field at the start-finish line. Here comes the 41 of Dawson Cram going for the top spot down on the bottom. And Cram is out front here at Atlanta on lap number 49. Look at the 88 truck of Matt Crafton making his way through this field on this restart up into the top 10. He's within striking distance on the number 60 truck of Mears as the 87 takes over the race lead with help from his team owner and teammate Joe Nemechek. Here comes the 88 truck of Matt Crafton, 3 wide down on the inside, trying to take over that championship lead once again. Crafton rolling good momentum down on the bottom with relatively fresh tires. Here comes a move made by Joe Nemechek to the inside of the 87 of Timothy Peters. Down the back straightaway, the 60 truck of Mears gets down to the inside, defending his position as Joe Nemechek takes over the race lead here at Atlanta. Now just 10 laps to go in stage number 2 as Nemechek is your race leader. Timmy Hill trying to take over second. Down to turn number 1, we have the 88 truck of Matt Crafton. All over the tailgate now of the 60 of Casey Mears. He's filling up his mirror at this point. But Mears in that 60 truck now takes over the third spot, once again chasing after the 56 of Hill for the second position. And Hill gets side drafted back. 60 of Mears takes over the second spot. Matt Crafton takes a look down to the inside. These two battling for the second spot, but for the championship lead. In the closing laps of stage number 2, here comes Crafton running the middle. David Reagan tried to make it work down on the bottom, had to back off on corner entry with the lower banking down there, and Matt Crafton assumes the second spot and back into the championship lead. Crafton moves up in front of the number 60 truck of Mears as the 87 of Peters takes back the second spot, making it a Nemco 1-2. Joe Nemechek still out in front of this field. Down on the inside, Timmy Hill takes back the third spot. Derek Kraus moves into fourth. Down the back straightaway, here comes the 87 of Timothy Peters, back to the inside of his truck owner and teammate Joe Nemechek. Peters is going to take over that top spot. He's going to take the 56 truck with him as now Timmy Hill makes a look down to the inside. Here comes Mears back to the bottom of the 88 truck, and the 98 of Enfinger makes his way through this field. Casey Mears back into the point lead, although he backs off in the middle of the corner, 3 wide for the championship lead. 98 of Enfinger from third, now to first in points in just 1 lap. In fact, 1 set of corners, as now the 56 of Timmy Hill takes over the race lead. 19 of Derek Kraus back into second. Enfinger, though, muscles his way into the point lead. 99 truck of Ben Rhodes still running somewhat deep in the pack, as we got a 3 wide move being made for second. David Reagan down on the inside as the middle line falls apart. Reagan up to second. Austin Wayne self-impressively into the third spot. David Reagan takes away the race lead in his home racetrack at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Reagan out in front, the Darlington race winner. Here comes Crafton using momentum off the high side. Getting back to side-by-side with the championship point leader, his teammate Grant Enfinger, although Enfinger drives right by him as the 88 truck pushed just a little bit up the hill through turns 1 and 2. Now Mears and Crafton hung up on the outside line. 98 truck of Enfinger charging forward. Coming off of turn number 4, the 22 truck of Austin Wayne Self battles for second position. Coming down to turn number 1, looks like the 19 of Derek Kraus is going to take over that second spot. David Reagan still holding on to the race lead as there was contact farther back. 56 truck got hit in the left rear quarter panel by the 87 of Timothy Peters. 3 wide move getting made by Christian Eckes down on the bottom. Eckes makes his way past the 8 truck of Nemechek and the 22 of Austin Wayne Self. Eckes now up into third position. Here comes Enfinger going down to the inside of the 56 of Timmy Hill, trying to break his way up into this top 5. Now up into 5th and actually going for 4th on Joe Nemechek. Down the back straightaway, the field running relatively single file up on the outside line. As the 19 truck of Derek Kraus still holds on to that second position. 12 of Christian Eckes going for the spot down on the bottom. 2 laps to go in stage number 2. As there is, in fact, a lap truck up in front of these front runners. It is the 26 of Chase Purdy, who is well off the pace, but still maintaining minimum speed. But he is off the pace from that incident he got involved in the middle of stage 2. Down on the inside, we got the 12 truck of Christian Eckes taking over the second position. Point leader getting hung up by the number 19 of Derek Kraus, who got a little bit loose coming off of turn 4. White flag in stage number 1 for David Reagan. Matt Crafton getting pushed 4 wide, farther back. Top of 4 right now, holding that high side momentum. There's the lap truck down the back straightaway. Blocking in the number 12 of Christian Eckes. Now blocking the outside line, 87 truck running almost on the apron. Now through turns 3 and 4. Racing back for the green and white checkered flag, the 52 truck up into the outside wall. There's contact coming back to the line. David Reagan is going to win stage number 2 as Grant Enfinger almost slides into the grass. They managed to keep it going in the right direction, but Enfinger nearly dumped the number 12 truck coming off of turn number 4 and drove the 16 of Austin Hill down into the dirt. But David Reagan is going to take home the stage number 2 victory. Above the 87 truck of Timothy Peters, the number 12 of Christian Eckes, the 8 of Joe Nemechek raced his way up to 4th, and the 98 of Grant Enfinger, the current point leader, held on to that 5th position, nearly wrecking, coming to the green and white checkered flag. All right, so things got really crazy on the final lap of stage number 2. Watch this as the 26 truck kind of boxes in the 52 of Stuart Friesen, who's already being pushed 4 wide. Friesen then pushes up the racetrack, gets into those marbles just a little bit, and makes contact with the outside wall coming off of turn number 4, losing track position. Then we have the battle for second coming off of turn number 4. You see the 17 truck still leading this field, but then the 98 of Enfinger, the point leader, makes contact with the 12 truck of Christian Eckes, almost turning Eckes down to the 87. Fortunately, Peters was just barely clear of him, but now the 98 and 16 trucks are dooring each other, coming back to the green and white checkered flag. 16 truck slides through the dirt. The 98 truck keeps him pointed in the right direction. The number 8 truck of Joe Nemechek beats them back to the start-finish line, but an incredible battle back to the stripe between those two. But then this is where things turn bad. Watch this miscommunication coming through the front straightaway. The 25 truck of Mason Mingus pushes up just a little bit into the 6. And remember, we're already under the caution flag for the completion of stage number 2, but the 25 truck makes contact with the 6 of Nick Sanchez up into the 55 of Ty Majeski, and these two squeeze into the number 6. 55 truck makes contact with the outside wall, gets it fairly well corrected, but watch this. Ty Gibbs clips the number 13 of Sauter down into the championship contender of Ben Rhodes. Gibbs gets himself turned around by the 30 truck. Then the 99 gets turned up into the 4 of John Hunter Nemechek. 13 makes contact with the wall. Championship contender makes contact with the 4 truck and a little bit of contact into the outside wall. Ben Rose then gets hit by his own teammate of Johnny Sauter as the field's still checking up for the caution flag period, I should add. The 61 truck of Max McLaughlin gets involved in this. He's the Homestead race winner. Fortunately, minimal damage on all the trucks involved, but still a crash after the caution here at Atlanta. And the 18 truck of Ty Gibbs actually got high-centered on the banking. If you thought stage number 2 was action-packed, just get ready for what you're about to see in the final stage here in the Camping World Truck Series Championship race. Under this caution flag period, we only have a surprising 3 trucks hitting the pits, those being trucks that were damaged in that on-track accident following the caution flag, including John Hunter Nemechek, Johnny Sauter, and championship contender Ben Rhodes, all hitting the pits for repairs. Fortunately, very minimal damage on all 3 trucks. And everybody else is staying out on the racetrack, so what that means is they're going to try and make this race into a 2-stopper. They obviously made the pit stop at the end of stage number 1, and now they're going to try and make it about halfway through this final stage, come down pit road, whether that be under green or under a yellow flag condition, then make it all the way to the conclusion of this championship race on lap 130. And this could mean, over the course of this final stage, we might very well see a championship winning pit stop, whether that be under green or under caution. And so the second lap under the caution flag period, we have the number 26 of Chase Purdy coming down pit road. He's actually retiring from the race, but he is just retiring from damage he got earlier on in this race from that stage number 1 crash. And we also have the 31 truck of Ty Dillon coming down pit road for 4 fresh tires, so he may very well have an advantage on this restart, along with drivers such as Ben Rhodes, Johnny Sauter, and John Hunter Nemechek, because they're going to be restarting on fresh tires, while the rest of the field has ran already 30 laps on their rubber. And the pace car ducks onto pit road. The number 17 of David Reagan leads the field into the Geico restart zone as the 25 truck peels off onto pit road, and the green flag will wave for the final stage of the 2021 Camping World Truck Series season. The field roars down into turn number 1. David Reagan, the hometown hero, gets the advantage as the 87 truck being shuffled back right now by his truck owner, Joe Nemechek, and Christian Eck is going for the race lead down the back straightaway. Joe Nemechek going 3 wide for the top spot. Through 3 and 4, front row Joe, and what could very well be his final Truck Series appearance, goes to the race lead. Can he lead at the start-finish line? Nemechek does lead at the stripe. Grant Enfinger getting put 4 wide down to turn number 1, as well as championship contender Matt Crafton. Parker Kligman backs off on the exit of turn number 2. Joe Nemechek leads this field here at Atlanta with the 98 truck of Grant Enfinger assuming the second spot through the middle. Now dives down into turn number 3 and clears the 56 truck. 88 truck of Matt Crafton down on the inside takes up the 5th position. And it's worth noting the 25 truck of Mason Mingus actually had a flat right rear tire coming to the green. That's why he came down pit road and lost all of his track position pitting with the pace car. Out in front of this field, the 8 truck of Joe Nemechek has kind of checked out with the number 98 of Grant Enfinger. Just to serve as a reminder, these trucks up front have already ran stage number 2, so that means they are running relatively worn tires as Grant Enfinger goes down to the inside, going for the race lead. Enfinger is going to make the move stick through turns 1 and 2. The 98 truck leads the points and the race here at Atlanta. The 88 truck of Matt Crafton down on the inside currently holds that second place in championship points and is going to take over the 3rd spot on track through turns 3 and 4 as the 75 truck got right up to his tailgate. Coming off of the 4th corner, Grant Enfinger is going to lead at the start-finish line as Joe Nemechek tries to side draft him back. Coming down to turn number 1, the Thor Sport trucks clear the field as now the top 2 contenders here at Atlanta are chasing that championship. Down the back straightaway, the number 88 truck of Crafton gets the advantage. He's getting a push from the 75 truck, and Crafton, the pole sitter, back into the race lead and the championship lead. Coming off of turn number 4, the 56 truck of Timmy Hill gets pushed wide, and look at the 31 truck of Ty Dillon, almost up into the top 10 already on those fresh tires. The 99 truck of Ben Rhodes has taken over 3rd spot in points off the 60 of Mears as the 75 of Kligerman takes over the race lead down the back straightaway. The 2000 Series champion, Greg Biffle, down on the inside of the 88 truck, takes over the 2nd spot as Matt Crafton backs off on entry to turn 3. That's going to let Dawson Cram also take over that 3rd spot with momentum down the front straightaway. 2 Thor Sport trucks up on the outside, both 1st and 2nd in the championship point standings at the moment. Coming off of turn number 2, Enfinger trying to make his way to the bottom as Timmy Hill made contact with the outside wall off of turn 2. Kligerman still leads this field, and look at the 99 truck of Ben Rhodes down on the bottom. He put on those fresh tires coming into this stage, and it's really paying off for him at the moment. Racing his way up through this field. He has not had one of the faster trucks in today's race, but it looks like those fresh tires are at least equalizing it for him. But speaking of those fresh tires, the 31 truck of Ty Dillon is easily carving his way through this field. Getting down to the inside, now the 17 of David Reagan going for a top 10 running position as the 98 of Grant Enfinger still holds that championship lead right now, getting hounded by the 88 of Crafton. Coming off of turn number 4, they run side by side for the top spot in the championship. Enfinger holds it at the line. Here comes Ben Rhodes into the picture. We are well into the final stage now of the 2021 season. The Thor Sport trucks rising to the top in the championship points, currently holding first through third as the 60 truck of Mears runs all the way down in 33rd position, quickly falling through this field. As look at the 31 of Ty Dillon to the inside of the 12 truck of Christian Eckes. That will move Dillon up into the top 5. That truck is on a rail. Ever since putting on fresh tires, he has about a 30-lap tire advantage as the 41 of Dawson Cram takes that top spot away from the 75 of Parker Kligerman. He's not going to be able to hold off the 31 truck for very long. That tire advantage is pretty massive right now as the rest of the field has to back off the throttle in the center of the corner. The 31 truck of Ty Dillon is certainly full throttle at the moment. Look at this battle down the front straightaway. 88 truck of Crafton pulling back down to the inside of the 98 of Enfinger. Crafton back into the championship lead. The top 3 contenders in the championship 4 run nose to tail, the 3 ThorSport teammates of Crafton, Enfinger, and Rhodes, as Rhodes is going to take over the second spot in points through turns 3 and 4 as the 21 of Zane Smith takes over second. Smith had a breakout Rookie of the Year award season last year, still looking for his first win on the 2021 season. Down on the inside, we have the 75 truck of Kligerman taking over the third spot once again. Stuart Friesen into the picture in the top 5. Number 31 truck's advancement towards the front has been slowed by getting kicked up to the outside line. 88 truck of Crafton's put a pretty big advantage above the 2 other ThorSport teammates battling for this championship. Quite a few trucks separating the 88 from now the 98, retaking second in points off the 99 of Ben Rhodes. Up towards the front, 41 truck of Dawson Cram still holds that top spot. Now above the 52 truck of Friesen, who's battling the 75 for second. Almost slides up into the 75 truck right there. Side drafts Kligerman back and Stuart Friesen into second position. Front row Joe back up into fourth. And this is not Nemechek's final career start. That will be coming on Sunday afternoon in the Cup Series Championship race. But down on the inside, Friesen is going to take over the race lead down the back straightaway. He's got 3 wins on the season, but all 3 came on the dirt tracks, trying to score his first asphalt win in nearly 2 years. 75 truck, though, back down to the inside, trying to pull off a crossover on Friesen. Coming back to the start-finish line, the 41 truck sides with the 52. It was Friesen to lead the lap. Farther back, we got another battle for the championship lead as Crafton got kicked up to the high side. Here comes the 98, working his way forward, now to the inside of the 88 of Crafton. 75 of Kligerman battles out in front of this field with the 52 of Stuart Friesen. Through turns 3 and 4, looks like the 75 truck's going to get it. Nearly contact between the 98 of Enfinger and the 88 of Crafton, as Enfinger takes back the championship lead. The 99 of Ben Rhodes looks like he's going to take over second, and the 60 of Mears finally back in frame. Out towards the front, though, we have the 52 truck getting forced wide by the 41 and 12 trucks on the bottom. 75 of Kligerman has cleared the field. 98 of Enfinger, obviously your championship leader, but the battle continues for second in points as the 99 is going to take over that position. He's got a quite significant tire advantage above the trucks that he's running with, but he has not really gone too far compared to what the 31 truck of Ty Dillon has done on those fresh tires. But even Dillon has gotten boxed in traffic, as you can see, getting stuck right now on the inside of 3 wide. Right now works his way down to the inside of the 51 truck as we got a battle for the championship lead. Down the front straightaway, the 98 truck of Enfinger got boxed in, nearly contact between Terrio and Timmy Hill, as Ben Rhodes is going to take over the top spot in the championship points. More contact between Terrio and Timmy Hill. 99 truck takes over the championship lead down the back straightaway on those fresher tires. The 60 of Casey Mears makes his way around the 88 truck of Matt Crafton. Mears back into third in points. And the battle out in front is nose to tail as the 52 truck of Stuart Friesen goes down to the inside and takes over the race lead. Here comes the 31, finally with a little bit of clear track, starting to easily carve his way back through this field. Now to the inside of the 52 truck of Friesen. And Friesen clears him down to turn number 3 as the 75 truck backs up the 22 side by side. At the start-finish line, it was the 31 to lead the lap. Ty Dillon out in front. 98 of Enfinger to the bottom of the number 99 of Ben Rhodes. Down the back straightaway, they run 3 wide for the championship lead. It is Rhodes clearing the 98 truck down the back stretch. 98 gets boxed in just a little bit right there by the 42 of Carson Hocevar, 13 of Johnny Sauter on fresher tires, making his way through the field. And it's beginning to look like the tire advantage actually was not equalizing. It was just the amount of traffic up in front of the trucks that did have fresher tires. That was what was slowing them down. Because now look at the advantage the 31 truck has put over second place, now being held by Austin Wayne Self. We got the 99 truck on fresher rubber carving his way through this field, currently the championship point leader, and also the 13 of Johnny Sauter in what could very well be his final Truck Series start, up into the top 10 once again, and charging forward. Down on the inside, we got the 60 battling door to door with the 88 truck of Crafton. Mears trying to edge out that 88 truck coming off of turn number 4 and hopefully clear him. Uses momentum off the middle line, and he gets it. Casey Mears up into third in point standings as we got a battle for the championship lead once again. 98 truck works his way down to the inside of the 99. And Grant Enfinger takes back the point lead coming off of turn number 2. See, the tire advantage is very big if you can get clean air, but these trucks such as Sauter and Rhodes stuck in line. They've gone practically nowhere in the last few laps, at least compared to what the 31 truck has done, as Ty Dillon is driving away from this field. 75 and 41 trucks now battle for the second position. Coming down to turn number 1, 75 truck getting a push from the 52 of Stuart Friesen. Outside line kind of holding some good momentum right now, as there's a little bit of contact between the 98 of Enfinger and the 52 of Friesen. Down the back straightaway, the lanes draw even. And it looks like through turns 3 and 4, the 41 truck of Dawson Graham is going to take the second position. Enfinger up into third. And look at the 60 of Casey Mears. He's taken over second in points as the 88 truck pushes him to that position. 88 now third in point standings. 99 of Rhodes, the freshest tires of any of the championship 4 contenders, drops back to fourth. They just have not figured out the handling on the racetrack that they have needed so far to get that 99 truck out front. And look at this, the 98 of Enfinger signals that he'll be coming to pit road. Enfinger is going to short pit this field. Hits the pits on lap number 89, going for track position. Now there is a bit of a quandary in that situation as they go 4 wide down to turn number 1. Timothy Peters making the move stick. But the trouble with short pitting is that if we get a caution flag, that will trap Enfinger down a lap and essentially remove his chance at the championship. But if this cycle of pit stops goes completely green, that might just cycle the 98 truck into the race lead. Right now, no more takers to pit road this time by. That means Enfinger is going to short pit the field by quite a bit, as Casey Mears now holds that championship lead, goes down to the inside of Friesen, going for second position on track, making this a germane 1-2 here at Atlanta at the moment. Down the back straightaway, we got 2 ThorSport trucks working together. It's Johnny Sauter on fresh tires, as well as the 88 truck of Crafton. Crafton signals that he'll be coming to the pits. Lap number 91, Crafton, Dawson Cram, John Hunter Nemechek come to pit road, as well as quite a few others, including Joe Nemechek, Raphael Lassard, Christian Eckes, Ty Majeski, Jesse Little, and Max McLaughlin hit pit road for what could be their final stop of the season. And so your front runners, the germane teammates of Ty Dillon and Casey Mears, they still stay on the racetrack. 52 truck on the racetrack as well, but they will be hitting pit road this time by. Mears comes down. Friesen into the pits. Parker Kligerman, David Reagan, Zane Smith, Timothy Peters, Austin Terrio, and the majority of the field hit pit road on lap number 93, taking the conservative approach to this pit strategy. Both the 99 and 60 trucks are down, so following this lap, all 4 of the championship contenders will have completed their service. And we got 2 trucks staying out on the racetrack, those being the 31 of Ty Dillon and the 13 of Johnny Sauter. As you recall, these two pitted before the beginning of this final stage. So what that means is they can go quite a few laps farther, probably about 20 or so laps farther than the rest of the field that just came down pit road. So what these two are going to hope for is a caution flag because they have lapped all the way up to third position. If they can catch a caution, they will be the only two trucks on the lead lap. And it'll pretty much be a battle between Ty Dillon and Johnny Sauter to win this race. So these two would love to see a caution flag right about now. And so the pit cycle has concluded for all the way up to third position. Casey Mears is the new championship point leader above the 88 truck of Matt Crafton. The number 98 truck of Grant Enfinger did not gain very much by that short pit. In fact, a slow pit stop kicked him back quite a few positions. The 98 truck runs all the way down in 13th spot compared to the 60 and 88 trucks residing third and fourth. Execution is what has fallen apart for this number 98 team late in the going in the championship race. A slow pit stop might have just done them in unless they can draft up to this lead group. And a really, really poor stop might have ended the number 99 team of Ben Rhodes' chances, because if you look at where they are running on track, they sit all the way down in 28th position, about half a track behind the 60 of Casey Mears. They will need a caution flag to get back into championship contention. They are way too far back to make this happen unless they get a caution. This is the battle for third position currently and will be for the race lead once Sauter and Ty Dillon come down pit road. The 60 of Mears still holds on to the spot. Zane Smith takes over the fourth position off the high side. Two GMS teammates working together up towards the front. The 24 of Raphael Lassard and the 21 of Zane Smith in this front drafting pack. And how about this? Brendan Poole, who went around earlier on in this race, now getting put nearly four wide down to turn number one with Matt Crafton once again top of four. But Brendan Poole now resides within the top 10 after getting turned around just about 50 or so laps ago. And look at this, the 98 truck of Enfinger has drafted his way back up into this lead group with help from the 4 truck of John Hunter Nemechek. That means we have 3 drivers in the championship battle. Mears, Crafton, and Enfinger still all with a shot at it as they make their way around the lap truck of TJ Bell, which boxes up the middle line. Right now, look at that 52 truck make the move 3 wide on the bottom. That is the move for third position. Friesen's going to take over that spot as the 45 truck really checks up that middle lane. Enfinger's going to take over second in points off the 88 truck of Crafton. As I mentioned earlier, a caution flag is necessary for the 99 truck to get back into the championship hunt. He is way too far out because of a very, very slow pit stop. But now the 52 truck takes over the third spot on track. 60 still holds on to the point lead. And so the 31 and 13 trucks are still out on the racetrack. 31 has gapped the second place runner of Sauter by quite a bit. And bad news actually for the number 13 truck of Johnny Sauter. He's reporting over the radio that he is down at least one cylinder with 30 laps to go here at Atlanta. Sauter dropping at least a cylinder. You can hear the truck pass by our camera, sounds very flat and is well off the pace at this point, losing about a second or so a lap to the race leader of Ty Dillon. Tough break for Johnny Sauter, as it looks like at this pace, he might not even score a lead lap finish. And the battle for third place continues to heat up, as this very well will be the battle for the race lead unless we get a caution flag soon, trapping all these contenders down a lap. Dawson Cram up into third spot once again. Parker Kligerman down on the inside, and we got a battle for the championship lead once again. 98 of Enfinger to the inside of Casey Mears. And Enfinger is going to drive his way back up into the point lead through turns 3 and 4. Enfinger takes over the spot. The number 75 truck of Kligerman back into third position. Joe Nemechek up into fourth once again. You know, Joe Nemechek has a very legitimate chance at winning out in his Camping World Truck Series career. He's never won a Truck Series race in his career. Best career finish of second. Today might just be his day. And Johnny Sauter, who is at least down one cylinder, now finally comes down pit road, pitting from the second place. The 31 truck, however, of Ty Dillon is still on the racetrack, hoping for a caution flag. Look at this move all the way down on the apron. This 21 truck of Zane Smith gets forced down there by the 88 truck of Matt Crafton, as Crafton and Mears battle for the second spot in points. Mears makes it work through the middle, getting around the 41 truck of Dawson Cram. 98 of Enfinger, though, still holds on to that point lead. And so this time by on lap 105, the 31 truck of Ty Dillon finally comes down pit road, completing our pit cycle here in the Camping World Truck Series Championship race. And so that will cycle the number 75 truck of Parker Kligerman to the race lead. Down on the inside, we got the number 52 truck of Stuart Friesen making the move for second position. As farther back, we have an intense battle for the championship point lead. Matt Crafton made a 3-wide move for the spot. Crafton back into first in points. The 60 of Mears down on the inside takes back second. The 98 of Enfinger drops back to third. Inside, 25 laps to go here at Atlanta. 75 of Kligerman leads this race as the battle for the championship is nose to tail among the top three. Right there, the 31 truck of Ty Dillon comes off pit road. He will have another significant tire advantage, about 20 or so lap fresher tires, and is going to be right in between the first and second packs coming off of pit road. Might actually still have a legitimate chance at winning this thing because he actually didn't lose that much track position by staying out long. Back up front, the number 75 truck of Parker Kligerman still leads this field as the battle for the championship is continuing between the 88 of Crafton and the 60 of Casey Mears. They continue to race each other cleanly but aggressively. Coming into turn number 3, here comes a 3-wide move getting made by Front Row Joe down on the bottom. Joe Nemechek goes from third to the race lead down the front straightaway and leads just barely at the start-finish line. In fact, let's see what scoring says. Just barely actually got edged out. 75 truck led at the stripe, but Nemechek goes to the race lead off of turn 2. Casey Mears back into the championship lead off of the second corner. Oh, and we've got large trouble on the front straightaway. The caution flag waves. The 99 of Ben Rhodes involved in it. Championship implications are massive in this one. Huge front-end damage on the 99 truck of Ben Rhodes as the caution flag waves. And Joe Nemechek has led the field back to the caution flag. Nemechek is your race leader. Above the 41 of Dawson Cram, 75 of Kligerman, 60 of Mears holding that championship lead, and the 52 of Stuart Friesen running in 5th position. And this caution has pretty much changed everything as we are now down to a championship 3. And so here's what happened coming off of turn number 4. This started as actually a fairly simple 2-truck accident. Coming off of the 4th corner, the 56 truck of Timmy Hill gets boxed in just a little bit, backs off the throttle. Biffle did not anticipate this. He clips Timmy Hill in the right rear quarter panel and sends him very hard up into the outside wall. A big hit for both of them, knocking both Hill and Greg Biffle, I believe, out of this race. Especially the number 56 of Hill. He is at the very least out of this one. But here comes the pack. We got quite a few trucks running in a single file line. They make it past the 51 of Biffle, but the 56 of Timmy Hill is still rolling. And right there is the 87 of Timothy Peters. Plows square into the 56 of Timmy Hill. Gets rammed by the 18 of Ty Gibbs. Up into the air goes the 87. Lands on top of the 56. There's the 16 truck, drives into it. Nowhere to go for Derek Kraus and Ryan Truex, and right there at the end of this single file line is the 99 of Ben Rhodes. Drives right into the back bumper of the 33 truck of Ryan Truex, and Rhodes' bid at the championship is over here on lap 108 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And after such a high last weekend at the Talladega Superspeedway, winning his way into this championship 4, Ben Rhodes' chances have now come to an end. And so fortunately no one was injured in this accident, but look at some of these huge hits, especially for Timmy Hill right there, turned hard up into the outside wall by the 51 of Biffle, and then a 100-mile-an-hour difference between him and Timothy Peters as Peters rams the 56 and almost gets turned over by the 18 truck of Ty Gibbs. A massive pileup down in turn number 1 brings out the caution flag inside of 25 laps to go. And so following that massive pileup entering turn number 1, the full list of trucks out of the race is quite a long one, including the 18 of Ty Gibbs, 87 of Timothy Peters, 56 of Timmy Hill, who had such a strong run going. Then the number 16 truck of Austin Hill DNF'd, no relation, by the way, to Timmy. The number 19 of Derek Kraus DNF'd in that accident. And most importantly, the number 99 of Ben Rhodes is now out of this race. With now about 20 laps to go, his chance at the championship is over. And so now we are down to a championship 3. Currently the points being led by the 60 of Casey Mears, setting in 4th. Third place runner in points, the number 98 of Grant Enfinger, setting 9th. And then we have the number 88 truck of Matt Crafton setting in the 10th position. Crafton trying to score his record-tying 4th championship. His crew chief Junior Joyner trying to walk out of his Camping World Truck Series career with that record-tying 4th championship as he is stepping away from the sport following this season. Then we have Grant Enfinger searching for his first NASCAR National Series title, as well as Casey Mears searching for his first NASCAR National Series title, as well as trying to cap off his stellar Rookie of the Year award-winning season. Pace car hits pit road once again. Joe Nemechek leads the field into the Geico restart zone. There is the green flag. Just 18 laps to go in the Camping World Truck Series season. The field once again fanning out down to turn number 1. Here comes the 41 of Dawson Cram down to the inside. Cram on the restart is going to take away the race lead. Here comes Casey Mears through the middle. Grant Enfinger down on the bottom, going for the championship lead. Nose to tail as the top 3 contenders in points. Here comes Enfinger down to the bottom as we got a battle for the race lead. Stuart Friesen takes away the race lead as Enfinger takes away the championship lead. Looks like he's going to take the number 88 truck of Crafton with him. Crafton trying to take over the 2nd spot in points. Down to the inside they go. Enfinger goes 3 wide for the race lead. Contact between Mears and the 41 of Dawson Cram. Now Crafton gets put into the middle line. Still, we got Nemechek, Friesen, and Enfinger battling 3 wide for the top spot. Enfinger gets the position. Off of turn number 4. Austin Wayne Self's going to take over 2nd position. Joe Nemechek hounding the tailgate of the number 88 truck of Crafton as Enfinger leads the field and the championship. As we approach just 15 laps to go here at Atlanta, the 60 truck of Mears getting shuffled back. Now the field getting single-filed out up towards the front. 98 truck of Enfinger leads this field. 22 of Austin Wayne Self in 2nd. Looks like he's almost going to let the 88 truck of Crafton assume the 2nd spot. It's now a championship battle up in front of this field. 2 ThorSport teammates of Enfinger and Crafton going at it. One searching after his 4th championship, the other going after his 1st, as Matt Crafton is going to take over the championship and race lead off of turn number 2 with a push coming from the 8 truck of Joe Nemechek. Inside, 15 laps to go. The 60 of Casey Mears quickly losing a lot of track position up on the outside line. Matt Crafton, though, clearing this field. Joe Nemechek running in 2nd, trying to win out in his Camping World Truck Series career. 22 of Austin Wayne Self holds on the 3rd spot. Grant Enfinger starting to lose track position, now dropping outside the top 5. Here comes Sheldon Creed, his last points-paying start in the Camping World Truck Series before moving on to the NASCAR Cup Series next season. Creed down to the bottom, going for the 4th spot on the 42 of Hocevar as Crafton, the pole sitter, is driving away from this field. But it's not over yet. The 22 truck of Austin Wayne Self still hounding him in 2nd position. The number 2 of Sheldon Creed has taken over 3rd, and one mistake out of Crafton could bring Mears and Enfinger back into it. Here comes Austin Wayne Self to the bottom. An impressive power move out to the race lead for the AM Racing number 22 driver as Mears down to the inside, going 4 wide, backs off to stay out of his teammates' left rear quarter panel. He assumes 2nd spot in the championship points, getting around the 98 of Enfinger. But Matt Crafton still holds on to that championship lead, now running in 3rd position. Stuart Friesen takes over 2nd. And remember, Crafton does not have to win the race to win the championship. He just needs to finish in front of either Mears or Enfinger. But now Crafton's starting to drop back just a little bit. The 24 of Lassard going for 3rd spot. He's going to get it as we have a battle for the top spot out in front. 52 truck of Friesen down to the inside of the 22 of Austin Wayne Self. He's going to take the spot away. Coming off of the 2nd corner. Ty Dillon down on the inside is going to take over the 4th position off the 88 truck of Crafton. Crafton starting to drop back. Here comes the 60 of Casey Mears back up into this battle. Mears has just 1 truck separating him from the point lead of Matt Crafton. The 52 truck of Friesen's put a pretty big advantage above the second place contender of Raphael Lassard, now getting pushed into that spot by the number 92 truck of Austin Terrio, as the 60 of Mears picks up the 92 truck down the back straightaway. Just 10 laps to go here in the Truck Series Championship race. Down on the inside, here goes Mears making a charge side by side. The 88 truck of Crafton, Mears back into the championship lead. Stuart Friesen leads this field above the 24 truck of Raphael Lassard. The two Germain trucks work together on the bottom. Ty Dillon up to third. Casey Mears into the championship lead and now going for that third spot as Lassard takes over the race lead. Johnny Sauter's about to drop one lap down. As I mentioned earlier, he's having some pretty significant engine trouble, possibly down as much as 2 cylinders at this point. 60 of Mears takes over second down on the bottom. 88 truck of Crafton challenging him now, looking down on the inside, backs off down the front straightaway. There's the 13 of Johnny Sauter. Both the two championship contenders get by with ease, but the outside line gets boxed in. 52 and 31 trucks lose all of their momentum. Racing through turns 1 and 2, the 13 truck really slowing down this pack down the back straightaway, getting the 31 truck stuck in line. As there's contact right there between the 13 and 31, into the outside wall goes both Sauter, Ty Dillon. Huge impacts for the 22, 45, and 3 trucks. The caution flag waves. Inside of 10 laps to go, we're going to have yet another restart. It was Raphael Lassard leading the field back to the caution flag above the number 60 of Casey Mears. Then behind Mears, we have the 88 truck of Matt Crafton. The two championship contenders run nose to tail. The 21 of Zane Smith raced his way up to 4th. The 75 of Parker Kligerman now sets in 5th. And the 98 truck of Grant Enfinger is all the way down in 11th position. That might be just a little bit too far out of contention unless the 88 and 60 trucks make a mistake on this next and potentially final restart. And so Johnny Sauter, racing in what could very well be his final Truck Series start, just wanted to make it to the finish, was having some pretty significant engine problems, but was boxing in these trucks that were contending for the final victory of the 2021 season. Ty Dillon had a great truck all day long, makes contact with the 13 truck just trying to move him up out of the way, but instead turns him down into the number 42 of Hocevar. Then the 31 hooks into the 42 truck. 13 gets turned around, 31 goes up to the outside to try and miss the 13, gets put up into the outside wall by the 22 of Austin Wayne Self. Then the 17 of David Reagan, the stage number 2 winner, piles into this. We also have the number 97 getting into it, and the 6 of Nick Sanchez just barely clipped the 22 of Austin Wayne Self. Tough break for Austin Wayne Self as he had a great run going. Then Brandon McReynolds piles in, and then also makes contact with the 45 truck of TJ Bell, sending those two around off of turn number 4. A large mess off of the 4th corner here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, bringing out the caution flag. And we're going to have a restart with less than 5 laps to go to determine your 2021 Camping World Truck Series champion. We're set up for an absolutely phenomenal dash to this finish. And so the full list of trucks out of the race following that accident include the 17 of David Reagan, who was your stage number 2 winner, the number 3 of Brandon McReynolds, and unfortunately, the number 13 of Johnny Sauter comes up just barely short of completing all the laps in what could be potentially his final career Camping World Truck Series start. DNFs with just 5 laps to go here in Atlanta. Like I said in the pre-race, this race is not a measure of his career statistics. He still ends his career with 24 career victories, and as a champion of the Camping World Truck Series, a very admirable career in NASCAR's national divisions. We wish Johnny Sauter the best in his efforts up in Wisconsin, back with late model racing and spending time with his family. But back to business, we've got a very, very critical restart coming up in just a few laps here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 60 and 88 trucks restart nose to tail. This is going to be quite possibly the most important restart of the season, as any slight slip-up could cost one of these 3 drivers the championship. But don't forget about Raphael Lassard leading this field. He's still looking for another Camping World Truck Series victory, and would definitely love to close out the 2021 season by putting that number 24 truck in victory lane. As the lights are off on the pace car, we are going to go green with just 3 laps to go in the Camping World Truck Series Championship race. And so the pace car hits pit road one more time. Raphael Lessard leads the field in the Geico restart zone. And there's the green flag with just 3 laps to go. And remember, we can use 1 attempt at overtime if needed. The field fanning out once again. Here comes Crafton down to the inside of the 60 of Casey Mears. Crafton pushes the number 24 truck out in front. 75 goes 3 wide down on the bottom. Matt Crafton trying to inch his way in front of the 60 of Mears. Mears works with the 24 truck down the back straightaway, just barely inches ahead of the 88 truck of Crafton. Right there, though, Crafton will now clear the 60 truck as he's almost getting put 4 wide up on the outside. 2 laps to go. Matt Crafton has a very good advantage above the 60 of Mears at the moment. Field almost going 4 wide down to turn 1. Crafton races side by side with the 75 truck of Parker Kligerman for the second spot. Kligerman clears him off of turn 2 as the 60 truck of Mears battles up on the outside line. Just a few trucks separating Crafton and Mears at the moment. Here comes Crafton down on the inside for the second spot. The 75 truck hits the outside wall, gets put 4 wide on exit. White flag is in the air here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 1 lap to go to determine our champion and the race winner. 98 truck of Enfinger carving his way through this field. Crafton going for the race lead as Casey Mears sets in 4th position. Down the back straightaway. Here comes the 21 truck of Zane Smith going for the race win. Into the final 2 corners. Smith backs up his corner entry, trying to get a run off of the 4th corner. Matt Crafton has got the championship locked up at this point. They're going to be a drag race down to the start-finish line. Crafton will win the race and the championship at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Matt Crafton ties Hall of Famer Ron Hornaday in career championships. Crafton scores his 19th career Camping World Truck Series victory, but most importantly, his 4th career NASCAR Camping World Truck Series championship. He scored the championship and the race victory here today. 4 wins on the season, a series-leading amount of victories. He won the championship back in 2019 without a single victory on the season, but now takes home the 2021 championship with 4 victories, the most of any single driver on the tour. What a move by Matt Crafton on this final restart, besting the 60 of Casey Mears and taking home the victory in a photo finish down to the start-finish line between him and the 21 truck of Zane Smith. Mears takes home a 5th place finish, and Grant Enfinger brought it home in 7th, but just coming up a little bit short to that 88 truck of Crafton. Matt Crafton is your 2021 Camping World Truck Series champion. And so there's an awful lot we can analyze on this final lap. First of all, the move by Grant Enfinger to make his way all the way up to 7th was nearly a 5-wide move down to turn number 1. Got it back down to 3 wide, made the move on Sheldon Creed and Mason Mingus right there to get himself back into position to at least have a shot at 2nd in points. And while that was going on, Matt Crafton set up an almost perfect slingshot move around the 24 truck of Raphael Lessard, got the position down the back straightaway. But it wasn't over yet. Watch this 21 truck of Zane Smith get a great run by backing up his corner entry down on the bottom. Gets side by side with Crafton in a classic Atlanta finish. Just barely inched his way ahead. The 52 truck tried to make it 3 wide, but the 88 of Crafton edges him out at the start-finish line. Matt Crafton wins the race, the pole, and the championship here at Atlanta with a nearly perfect sweep, tying Ron Hornaday in career titles. And so Casey Mears comes up just barely short on the 88 truck of Matt Crafton, brought it home in 5th position, just honestly about 0.3 of a second behind the 88 truck, but just so many trucks were in one spot, all vying for that race win and for the championship, that Casey Mears finished 5th, but only about 0.3 of a second behind the 88 truck. What a remarkable race here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Camping World Truck Series title. We had the number 98 of Grant Enfinger, brought it home in 7th position. A very good finish, but just not enough to bring home the 2021 title. And then finally, we had the number 99 truck of Ben Rhodes, unfortunately DNF'd on lap 108. He will take home a 30th place finish here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Johnny Sauter, in what might have been his final career Camping World Truck Series start, will take home a 29th place finish. And Joe Nemechek, in what also might be his final career Truck Series start, brought it home in 13th place with a very respectable performance out of Front Row Joe. And so Matt Crafton, after starting on the pole position here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, has taken home a clutch victory by leading just 5 laps out of today's completed 130 and only winning by 42 one-thousandths of a second, and was only separated from second place in points Casey Mears by 27 one-hundredths. An incredible race here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. In fact, we had 43 different lead changes among 22 different drivers. One of the most competitive races we've ever seen at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Zane Smith, after starting in 38th position, almost took home the victory, just barely got edged out by your new 4-time champion of Matt Crafton. Zane Smith's teammate Raphael Lessard also came very close to the victory after leading 8 laps, brought it home just barely in 3rd position, above the number 52 truck of Stuart Friesen. Had a very good chance at winning today's race, scored 3 victories this season on the dirt tracks. Couldn't quite break through and score a victory on the asphalt or concrete, but still brought home in 4th position. A very good points day for Stuart Friesen. Casey Mears comes up just barely short of the Camping World Truck Series Championship, but the Rookie of the Year Award winner of the 2021 season still brings it home 2nd in points. I would call that a well beyond successful first season in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series for actually NASCAR veteran Casey Mears. Sheldon Creed, the defending Camping World Truck Series champion, ends his tenure in this series with a good finish in 6th position after actually leading no laps on the day. Grant Enfinger brought it home 3rd in points and 7th in the race. The number 98 truck for Thor Sport with 3 laps led on the afternoon. Just didn't quite have enough for the rest of the competition there on those final few restarts. Ty Majeski in the number 55 truck brought it home in 8th position. His future is somewhat uncertain at the moment. Most likely will not be returning to the number 55 truck next season. We'll have to see where Majeski moves to for the 2022 season. John Hunter Nemechek, who we do very well know will be moving back to his family-owned team of Nemco Motorsports. He started today's race in 8th position and finished in 9th spot and led 9 laps on the day. Then we have Brendan Poole rounding out your top 10 from a 31st place starting position. Brendan Poole actually spun earlier on in this race and climbed his way all the way back into the top 10. A great performance out of Poole and On Point Motorsports. That team ends their season with 1 victory on the tour back at Milwaukee and a good outlook for the 2022 season. Remember, that team also won the NASCAR Cup Series race, the Geico 500, back in the spring at the Talladega Superspeedway. Farther back through your finishing results, notable names include the outside pole sitter of Brett Holmes, who was involved in an accident in the middle of stage number 2. He actually brought home an 11th position, a very good rebound for Holmes. Joe Nemechek, in what very well could have been his final career Camping World Truck Series start as his son, John Hunter Nemechek, moves back to the team in the number 8 truck next season. He brought home in 13th position with 11 laps led. That was a very stout number 8 truck this afternoon. Parker Kligerman also had a great race truck, leading 14 laps on the day, but just kind of lost it there at the end, brought home a 16th place finish. The 2000 Series champion of Greg Biffle brought it home in 21st position for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Ryan Truex, who appears to be moving back to the Xfinity Series for next season for Shepherd Racing Ventures, he brought it home in that number 33 truck in 22nd position. Then we have Ty Dillon, who had a very great race going. In fact, could have won today's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship race. It was not for catching the lap truck of Johnny Sauter at an inopportune time. Ended up wrecking and finishing all the way down in 24th position. However, he was still running, but he was, in the end, the last truck on the lead lap. But he does have a race-high 23 laps led, and that's because of that abstract strategy, I guess you could say, that he pulled off after coming down pit road at the end of stage number 2 and putting on tires, while the majority of the field stayed out for that caution. David Reagan, the stage number 2 winner, ended up getting involved in that crash and retiring from the race on lap 124. He had 14 laps led, a 9th place starting position, and it unfortunately led to just a 27th place finish. Johnny Sauter, in what very well could have been his final career Camping World Truck Series start, the 2016 Series champion, did start in 3rd position and led 5 laps, which was a very neat outing for that number 13 team. However, it ended kind of typical of his 2021 season. Johnny Sauter ended up having a tough race after having essentially a very slow engine detonation, and then finally getting involved in that crash with the number 31 truck of Ty Dillon, and Sauter could not get out of the way of the field in time, checked up the field, and caused quite a large accident off of the 4th corner. Sauter potentially ends his Camping World Truck Series career in 29th position. Then we have Ben Rhodes, who was chasing after the championship here today, started down in 35th position, climbed his way all the way up into the top 10 during the middle of the race, but ended up getting involved in that massive crash on the front straightaway and taking home a 30th place finish. Austin Hill in his final points-paying start for Hattori Racing Enterprises as he moves on to Richard Childress Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series next season. He takes home a 32nd place finish with a DNF. Another competitor moving on to the NASCAR Xfinity Series is Ty Gibbs. He ended up leading just 2 laps on today's race, but ended up DNFing with a 35th place finish. But Gibbs, with a very bright NASCAR Xfinity Series career up ahead of him, will essentially shake off his rather troublesome Camping World Truck Series season, where he only scored 1 victory in the spring race at Talladega, but he had a breakout year part-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, scoring multiple wins. So really, I'm not too concerned about Ty Gibbs whatsoever. He'll be just fine up in the Xfinity Series next season. Then we have Chase Purdy, the stage number 1 winner. Looked like he had a very good chance at having a breakout day. Led 15 laps, as I said, got that stage 1 victory, but ended up DNFing and ended up taking home a 36th place finish. And so here's a look at your official point standings from 1st all the way down to 40th. Matt Crafton is your new 4-time champion in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, tying Ron Hornaday Jr. in all-time championships. With his 4th win on the season, takes home a clutch victory here today in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series championship race and walks away with the 2021 title. Casey Mears, inside of 0.3 of a second away from his first NASCAR National Series championship, just barely missed out on it, takes home a 2nd place finish in points, just a mere 8 points behind of Matt Crafton. Grant Enfinger brought it home 3rd in points, just 10 points away from the 88 truck. And then finally, we have the number 99 of Ben Rhodes, ends up taking home a 4th place finish in points, and that is because of his DNF here today at Atlanta and 30th place finish. But how about this season for Thor Sport Racing? They obviously won their 4th championship with driver Matt Crafton, and obviously great congratulations to Junior Joyner, essentially walking off of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series with yet another champion's ring. But if you look at what Thor Sport this season has accomplished with 3 of their 4 teams, Crafton, Enfinger, and Rhodes combined to form 9 victories. That is a quarter of the season was won by Thor Sport Racing. Absolutely phenomenal statistics out of that team for this season. A lot of people questioned their kind of mid-off-season move to Toyota, but it has surely paid off big dividends. And how about this? Best of the rest was won by Stuart Friesen with his 4th place finish here today at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Friesen, this season known for his dirt racing excellence, taking home 3 victories, all of which coming on the dirt tracks at Bristol, Knoxville, and Charlotte Motor Speedway. Still got good enough finishes on the asphalt and concrete racetracks to take home that 5th place in overall season standings. And we have Christian Eckes climbing his way all the way up to 6th after being eliminated in just the first round of the playoffs. Ty Dillon climbs his way up to 7th in final season standings. Timothy Peters in 8th position. A big rebound this season for Nemco Motorsports, by the way. Going back to full-time competition, Timothy Peters became a championship contender with 2 wins on the season. Now they're gaining John Hunter Nemechek once again. Watch out for that team big time next season. Ty Gibbs, with 1 victory on the year, takes home a 9th place finish in final point standings. How about this? Brennan Poole in the number 30 truck for On Point Motorsports brings it home 10th in point standings. A top 10 points finish for On Point. Very impressive there. Sheldon Creed, your defending series champion, dropped off quite a bit in the latter half of the season and only brings home an 11th place finish in points. A big surprise there with only one victory as well, coming back at Sonoma, one of his home tracks, being a native of the state of California. Parker Klickerman brought home the 75 truck for Henderson Motorsports in 12th position. A very good points run for that team going to full-time competition. Then we have the 41 truck of Dawson Cram, brings it home in 13th position. A huge breakout year for that driver and team. They scored the victory at the Michigan International Speedway. Austin Hill dropped all the way down to 14th in points with that DNF that he suffered here today at Atlanta. 2 victories in dominating fashion, though, this season at Las Vegas and Charlotte. Then we have Brett Holmes in the number 23 truck making his way out of 16th position in points up to 15th. And then the last of the trucks that made the playoffs, that's Ryan Truex dropping down to 16th here at Atlanta. However, he did score that one victory earlier on this season at the Texas World Speedway. Then we have the highest driver in points who did not make the playoffs whatsoever, that being Austin Terrio in the number 92 truck for Brad Keselowski Racing. Then we have the 21 truck of Zane Smith finishing 18th in points, 38 truck of Todd Gillen 19th, and John Hunter Nemechek climbed his way all the way back up into the top 20 here today at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He did not make the playoffs, but he did score a victory this season after the playoffs had already began at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Now looking from 21st on back, Carson Hocevar takes home a 21st place finish in the point standings with 67 laps led. Ty Majeski, 22nd in overall point standings, just barely could not take home a victory this season. Came close, though, quite a few times. Chandler Smith brought that 46 truck home in 23rd in point standings, driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports. The number 09 of Stephen Parsons finished 24th in points. Look at Max McLaughlin. Ran 10 less races than Stephen Parsons, but came within 30 points of it. Brought it home 25th in points, ran just 21 races out of 36. A very impressive run in his limited schedule for McLaughlin. He's going to a full schedule next season, and he's going to drive the number 16 for Hattori Racing Enterprises. Staying within the team, but will be driving their full-time truck with Scott Zipadelli as his crew chief. Then we have Johnny Sauter with his DNF here today at Atlanta, drops down to 26th in point standings. Looks like that will be his final points position of his storied Camping World Truck Series career. Haley Deegan brought home the number 1 truck, 27th in overall points. The Fords had a very hard time missing races this season, including here in the championship race at Atlanta. Deegan and her teammate Tanner Gray both failed to qualify. And you see behind Deegan, we have the number 15 truck of Tanner Gray, brought it home 28th in overall point standings. Sam Mayer only ran 20 races. He obviously didn't run this race as he's declared for NASCAR Xfinity Series points, but he only ran 20 races and finished 29th in point standings, which is a fairly impressive feat. Not quite as good as what Max McLaughlin pulled off. That's because Max scored a victory. Sam Mayer came incredibly close. Look at how many laps he led. He led 220 laps. That is by far more laps than even the champion of Matt Crafton. However, still could not score a victory. Came very close numerous times. He did score a victory, though, last season at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and that kid is going to have quite a few more victories in his career, being one of Chevrolet's top development drivers. Then we have Will Rogers in the number 40 truck. He suffered that horrific accident at Watkins Glen International that inspired some even more safety improvements in NASCAR's national divisions. Then he made his return back to the series just a few weeks later and honestly ran just as well, but his bright spots of the season were on the road courses, albeit his worst crash also coming at Watkins Glen as well. But he did score a stage victory in that race, which is what has actually entered him into the All-Star Open 2 weeks from now at Las Vegas. Spencer Davis in his very own number 11 truck brought home a 31st place finish in point standings. Chase Purdy, your stage number 1 winner here at Atlanta, brings home a 32nd place finish in point standings. He will not be returning to that number 26 truck next season. Michael Self, who was actually released from that number 25 truck with about 10 races to go, he takes home a 33rd place finish in points, albeit missing the final 10 races of the season. But then we have Derek Kraus, however, in the number 19 truck, brought home a 34th place finish in points and was actually bested by quite a few drivers who did not even attempt the full schedule. Now, Derek Kraus attempted the full schedule and missed 11 races, but he got bested by a lot of drivers who ran a lot less races, including Michael Self, who got fired with 10 races to go. But then we have Rafael Lessard, who only ran 17 races this season, attempted just a few more, but ran a partial schedule. He finished 35th in points, and with a good finish here this afternoon at Atlanta, climbed up to 35th in point standings. He only led 14 laps on the season, but 8 of those laps were led here today in the Truck Series Championship race. Austin Wayne Self had a bit of a struggling season. He brought home a 36th place finish in points with just 21 starts on the season. Jesse Little, who ran kind of a piecemeal schedule this season, didn't attempt every single race, but attempted the majority of them. Actually made 22 starts this year and brought home a 37th place finish in points. And farther back, we have individual trucks that just ran partial schedules with part-time drivers, with the exception of Brett Moffitt, who started the year as a full-time driver, but then committed to full-time Xfinity Series competition. Got a runner-up finish at Charlotte, but beyond that, that was pretty much the highlight of his season. Led 35 laps on the year and brought home a 38th place finish in points. Brandon McReynolds actually had a fairly good season, driving the majority of the races that Anderson Germain Racing did not have some other affiliate driver with RCR running. He ran 13 starts on the year, got 2 top 10 finishes, 8 laps led, but he was always kind of running up in the top 15. Didn't get very many top 10s and no top 5s, but was running fairly decently all throughout the season. And rounding out your top 40 in final season point standings is the number 8 truck of Camden Murphy. 13 starts on the year, 189 points scored in total, and just 2 top 10s on the season. And so, folks, that does it for the 2021 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season. We really hope that you've enjoyed it. I personally believe that these last 3 weeks from Homestead all the way to here at Atlanta have been 3 of the greatest races that the Camping World Truck Series has ever seen. It's been photo finishes almost all throughout. Not quite a photo finish at Talladega, but still a nail-biter with the ThorSport trucks ganging up on the rest of the field in the final few laps. Ben Rhodes taking home that victory. Then we had the photo finish, obviously, before that at Homestead with McLaughlin edging out Ty Dillon, which ended up being pivotal in the point standings later at Talladega. And here today at Atlanta, Matt Crafton wins his record-tying 4th championship by just 42 one-thousandths of a second above the 21 truck of Zane Smith. Smith still shut out of victory lane. And so, folks, we've had an absolutely phenomenal 2021 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season. A record-setting 24 different winners on the tour. We've had more winners this year than we even had races last season. So this has absolutely been the most competitive year the Camping World Truck Series has ever seen. It all came down to a final 130-lap battle here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, 43 lead changes over the course of these 130 laps, and a photo finish, allowing Matt Crafton to score his record-tying 4th championship in NASCAR's Camping World Truck Series. And so the champion has been determined, but remember, we still have one more bit of business left in the Camping World Truck Series. 2 weeks from now, we have the Pennzoil All-Star Race from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A little bit of winter heat postseason action out west as the Camping World Truck Series hold their inaugural All-Star Race. But don't forget, the next time you'll be seeing us will be for the 2021 Season Finale 500 on the NASCAR Cup Series side. 4 drivers chasing after the championship, including Daniel Suarez, Chase Briscoe, Martin Truex Jr., and Chase Elliott, all gunning after the Bill France Cup after 167 laps of competition here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Going off what we've seen here today in the Camping World Truck Series season finale, the Cup Series Championship race is set to be one of the greatest in the sport's history. And once again, folks, we appreciate all the support you've given us over the course of this 2021 Camping World Truck Series season. We hope that you've enjoyed our year of coverage. And so we now congratulate Matt Crafton, Junior Joyner, and the rest of ThorSport Racing on scoring his 4th and record-tying championship in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, as well as his 4th victory on the season and 19th overall.